Most people think evil survives because of cruel men. They're wrong. Evil survives because good people are too soft to stop it, because weak kindness protects dangerous people, because silence protects corruption, because people confuse mercy with virtue. And the darkest truth? Sometimes your soft heart becomes the shield that protects evil itself. You forgive too quickly, you tolerate disrespect, you excuse manipulation. You stay silent to avoid conflict, and while you call it kindness, evil calls it opportunity. Today you will understand why uncontrolled softness destroys lives, why ruthless boundaries are necessary, and why every powerful person eventually learns one terrifying truth. A heart without strength becomes a weapon used against itself. Since childhood, most people were programmed to believe being soft means being good. Forgive everyone, be the bigger person, avoid hurting others, always stay kind. But reality never rewards naive kindness. Reality rewards strength. Because evil people understand something good people refuse to accept. Soft people are easier to control. The manipulator studies your empathy. The narcissist studies your guilt. The liar studies your patience. And while you try to understand them, they calculate how far they can exploit you. That's why some of the most dangerous people look harmless. They don't break your defenses with force. They break them with pity. They weaponize your own humanity against you. And the terrifying part? Most victims still defend the people destroying them, because they think setting boundaries makes them cruel. No boundaries are what separate good people from future victims. Even nature understands this law. A wolf without fangs starves. A kingdom without soldiers collapses. A man without limits becomes prey. Yet modern society glorifies weakness and calls it compassion. That is why so many people suffer silently. Not because evil is unbeatable, but because good people became too emotionally weak to confront it. Think carefully. How many toxic people survive only because others tolerate them? How many manipulators continue because nobody confronts them? How many corrupt leaders rise because people fear speaking the truth? Evil rarely wins through power alone. It wins through passive obedience, through emotional weakness, through soft hearts afraid of becoming bad people. Do you know why predators test boundaries? Because most humans don't defend them. The first disrespect seems small. The first lie seems harmless. The first betrayal gets excused. And little by little, your softness teaches others. They can damage you without consequences. That's why wise people understand this principle. Mercy without judgment becomes self-destruction. Even history proves it. Empires collapse when leaders become weak. Families collapse when discipline disappears. People collapse when emotions overpower logic. There is a massive difference between kindness and submission. One comes from strength, the other comes from fear. Most people are not kind. They're simply afraid of conflict, afraid of rejection, afraid of being hated. So they stay silent while evil grows stronger around them. And eventually, their silence becomes participation. That is the moment softness stops being innocent and starts aiding evil. Empathy is powerful, but uncontrolled empathy becomes poison. Because when you empathize with everyone equally, you eventually sympathize with destruction itself. You start excusing betrayal because they had a hard life. You tolerate disrespect because they're struggling emotionally. You ignore manipulation because they didn't mean it. Meanwhile, your own mental state slowly collapses. This is why emotionally intelligent people learn emotional detachment. Not because they hate humanity, but because they understand not everyone deserves access to their heart. A soft heart, without discernment, attracts parasites. Manipulators can sense emotional weakness instantly. They observe your reactions, your guilt, your fear of confrontation. And once they realize you lack boundaries, they stop respecting you. Because humans naturally exploit what has no resistance. That is reality. Cold, uncomfortable. But real. The strongest people are not heartless. They're selective. They know when to show compassion and when to become ruthless. Because protecting peace sometimes requires aggression. Protecting dignity sometimes requires distance. Protecting your future sometimes requires destroying emotional attachment. If a snake enters your home, you don't negotiate with it, you remove it. Not out of hatred, but survival. The same applies to toxic people. People often misunderstand strong individuals. They call them cold, detached, intimidating. But what they don't see is how much pain created those boundaries. Every emotionally disciplined person was once too soft, too forgiving, too trusting, until reality punished them enough times. Then something changed. They realized being endlessly available destroys respect. They realized constant forgiveness invites repetition. They realized kindness without standards attracts exploitation. So they evolved, not into monsters, but into people capable of saying no without guilt, capable of walking away without explanation, capable of choosing logic over emotional weakness. That transformation terrifies people, because strong boundaries expose weak intentions. Manipulators hate emotionally disciplined people. Why? Because they cannot control them, and control is what evil truly wants. A disciplined mind is dangerous. A detached mind is untouchable. And a person who no longer seeks validation becomes impossible to manipulate. That is real power.
Do not become cruel, but never become weak. Do not lose your humanity, but never let it blind you. Because the world does not only need kind people, it needs strong, good people. People capable of compassion and confrontation, mercy and discipline, love and boundaries. A sword locked away forever becomes useless, and a heart that cannot become dangerous cannot truly protect anything. Remember this carefully. Your softness is beautiful, but without strength, it becomes fuel for evil people. The moment you learn controlled ruthlessness, your kindness finally gains value, because true goodness is not harmless. True goodness is powerful enough to destroy evil, but disciplined enough not to. A weak good man is less useful than a disciplined dangerous man with morals.